Hey Kebros, what do you say? What do you know? This is Keith DiPiazza coming right at you from my man cave. Well, today's video is the aftermath. Alright, last night was the first night I used the VR09 in with my keyboard rig. Alright, now to show you what it used to be. Okay, this Chrome EX used to be here. Okay, and this Chrome used to do all the organs, all right? And then up on top was a Chrome EX61. And that did all my horns and blah, blah, blah. It did like all my major stuff, all right? So what I did was I took all the sounds I made in the 61 and I put them in the 73, all right? Then I had to bring the 73 up on top. And then where this used to do the organ, now the VR09 hangs out here. All right. The Studio Logic is just hanging out where it's always been. Okay. So when I did this, I had to relabel everything because I have a big pedal board and everything. So now you know where I was and where I'm at now. The VR09 works flawlessly last night. All the programs that I came up with on it, getting around on it was great. No problems at all. The one problem that I was having that was driving me crazy was that I'm used to banging parts out on the 61, but on the 73 I have more notes. And so I was going an octave higher or than I normally would go or whatever, but where I would be here, I'm down here now, so I was having a little problem doing that. Now, this here's the man cave setup, so this is a different keyboard stand. Everything looks more compact, but what I did, and I'm going to practice like this all week, is that I moved this keyboard down. So my natural instinct would be to go an octave higher here on this, okay? And so as far as the keyboards go, it's the VR09 worked great. It sounded really awesome through my Mackie system. No bad things at all on this puppy. However, we were just breaking in a new drummer, and now doing all the practices and stuff, he has a tendency to put 50,000 things in there that's not needed. And then we were telling him practices, keep it simple, stupid, your golden rule. Last night, my God, I'll tell you what, it was just totally awful. I videotaped last night, and I'm like terrified to even watch it. And then also, we got to see his drum kit for the first time, because when you practice here, you're practicing on my studio kit, which is electronics kit, all right? So he had a set of drums. They looked like they'd been sitting in a basement for like 30 years. And his hardware was like 1950s Roger cymbal stands and stuff. I haven't seen that stuff like, I think back when I was 14 years old, that's where I saw that type of hardware. But anyway, he's playing. He was like all over the place for one thing. Then I didn't get to see this because I'm busy doing Kiefer things here on the keyboards, and but apparently his tom-tom came off the drum kit and rolled across the stage. And from what the bass player told me, that happened 3 times during the night. Cymbal stand fell over, and it was like all type of insanity. But luckily, now, to put things in more perspective, is that was the new drummer's first gig, and also that first gig, our normal bass player was out of town, so I had to use a hired gun. Now this guy's a really excellent bass player, and so we're going with a fill-in bass player in the first night with this drummer. Now thank God this wasn't like a major gig. This was an outside gig and everything, but oh man, and I don't know what was going on, but I don't know whether it was a stress through everything, adding a new keyboard and all that, then dealing with that drummer crap. my wrist started hurting so bad. They were actually so bad I could hardly play. I couldn't wait till the third set ended. Then at the end of the third set, I took 2 Tylenol arthritis maximum strength, ate one of those, and I ate one more pain pill, which is morphine. I take morphine because I have psoriatic arthritis. And I'm supposed to take up to 3 pills a day, but normally I only take 1. And I took 2, and then I ended up taking a third one. Then so for the 4th set, they all kicked in, and I basically played my ass off. But it's kind of hard to play your ass off when you got a drummer that's not in the groove. Danny, the bass player, who's a personal friend of mine, let me add, he told me, man, I had no groove last night. I was trying to tell him just keep a beat. And so I'm gonna go over the video, and I'll make another video about the calamity of last night. But as far as the VR09, because I know a lot of you guys are sending me messages and stuff, hey, the thing worked flawless. It's going to fit into the system really good. And now the one thing I am kicking myself in the ass about is that for a long time I was searching for the best 3 keyboards to use in my band. And I found them. The 2 Chromes and the Numi worked great. But the second Chrome was basically only doing organ. And my buddy who was touring needed a Chrome to give him more versatility on what he's doing. And Danny's done me a lot of favors, so I made the trades for him. But now I got to get used to a new lineup, which kind of sucks because I was just kicking back and relaxing. Now I got to go through the whole thing of just getting used to where everything's at and a longer keyboard up on top. And another thing, I'm using a quick lock stand that was built in the 90s. The thing is a tank. It works great. And but I like this newer quick lock stand because look how close everything is. All right. But the problem is look how this puppy wiggles, man. This is horrible. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to a machine shop and keeperize it. But basically, this is my video. The VR09 works great. I just got to get used to the new setup, all right? And the Numi was beautiful as always. And so now I got everything set up because thank God we found out with my bass player buddy who filled in last night just had a friend. His band just broke up, and his friend is a hired gun drummer. And this guy's really good, and he's looking for a band. And I talked to him earlier this morning on the phone, and I know the guy is good without even hearing him because during the 80s and the 90s, we chewed up the same East Coast circuit. Both of us went up and down the coast playing in show bands. And I've heard of the bands he's played in. They're all good bands. I was touring with the Vogues. He was touring with the Coasters. We've actually done some shows with the Coasters and some of the other acts. So we chewed a lot of the same turf. So thank God, because we got a major gig coming up Friday. And we can't be sounding half-assed. So we're getting together with this new guy. And we're going to have a rehearsal Wednesday. And which will help me get used to this stuff too, the new rig, and so that way we can play the Friday's gig and really kick some major ass. But as far as the VR09 goes, it was awesome, and so now I got them all set up and everything, and they're all wired up right, but I got a kind of strange thing going on here. Let me take can you see the camera? Yeah, camera. All right, I'll take the camera off the tripod and I'll show you what I got going on here. And this is kind of strange. And maybe you guys can offer some suggestions here. Okay, what I got is, okay, on this side, on this side of the cave, I got my B3 and some keyboards here. My Gaia, another keyboard here. Then usually I toss a keyboard down here. And then I have this mixer. It's an older Mackie. And this mixer kind of takes care of everything that's all over here. Okay? And then I send everything into this master board. Okay? And so that's what I got going on this side. So everything comes up from here, shoots up over the top here and goes into the master board, okay, which goes into my recorder and the computer and all that crap. All right, and then I always set up my live keyboards here, so when we have band practice, and what I have back here is a cabinet with a little acoustic, I don't know if you can see them, yeah, they're acoustic bass head, and I play through that cabinet for my live rigs. All right, and then I have a little mixer down here, all right, to mix all this crap with. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm coming out of this mixer, going into this, and this is just a little mix bay, and so I'm coming out of this mixer, going into the mix bay, coming out of the mix bay, going into this. And then I'm coming out of the monitor out, all right, and the monitor out is going directly into that acoustic amp, all right. So when I'm practicing with the band, I have that speaker to play live with, because normally I just play through my Behringer monitors, all right. And so this is what I got going on. So maybe you guys got a better suggestion, because there's 1, 2, 3 mixers involved here. It's kind of crazy, but the way everything is kind of set up here, you know, I don't have the biggest space in the world to set everything up. And see if there's a light, you know. And there's my lesbian sitting back here in the corner there, and then that's a Roland A500. And right now everything's kind of tore apart, so I'm not normally this big of a slob. I'm still a slob, but not that big. And but that's what's going on. Oh, also here you probably noticed this little mixer. It's just a little stereo mixer for the B3, all right, because I got the lesbian, which is there, all right. Here you go. Let me do this for you guys. You'll like this. All right. So, oh, you feeling blue today? Let's don't feel blue. Let's feel red. All right, because you're angry because you're such a badass. I have a 300-watt Bogan tube amp that's built down in the bottom. All right, so this mixer is the preamp coming out of the V3, going in here, coming out of here, going right into the Bogan tube amp. All right, which powers my lesbian. So that's basically why this little mixer's here. So, okay, guys. Then you know all my other babies, and so, but the VR09 was fantastic. It sounded great. It really sounded great. Especially, I ripped out some nice B3 solos last night, and so I'm very impressed with it. So thanks for asking. It did work out great, except all the other bullshit I had to contend with. And, you know, I'm going to be 66 August. And, you know, you would think life would get easier, but I just don't know, man. With some of these players, you know, you're supposed to become wiser and more tempered in your style of playing, you know, get more refined, more precise, and whatever. But and this guy's a couple years older than me, and he was all over the place. So, but I know, shut up. Okay. Hey, guys, God bless. I'm out of here, and keep on rocking.